getting ready to start another BBC Unplugged.
Yes.
And we're so excited about what we are going to be discussing today. And before we do anything, we're going to need God's presence wherever you are, because this is a serious subject we're talking about. A subject that some people just simply say, hey, the answer is yes or the answer is no, but we've got to take some time out to talk about this. And we want to see where God leads, especially for so many who have different friends and or all kinds of friends. And so in this, we want to just start with prayer. So let's bow our heads together as we invite God's presence. So Father, again, we come before you, thank you for all that you've done. We thank you for life. We thank you for strength and this opportunity to talk about a subject that will either have us grow or leave us in denial. In light of this, Lord, we ask that your Holy Spirit will be with us and bless us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So, Landy, this one was your fault.
This one wasn't my fault.
It wasn't your fault.
It was not my fault at all.
Oh, how did we?
I believe you suggested the topic.
It was me?
Yes.
So it was a long time ago.
And it was a long time ago, and you kept bringing it back up. So we're doing it tonight.
We're doing it tonight. So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's talk a little bit, Landy. Let's talk a little about this.
So tonight's topic is whether or not it is possible for people of the opposite sex to be best friends. We've talked about being friends, and we're going to talk about being best friends. So maybe we need to define what a best friend is, what it looks like, and then we're going to have to break it down from a single perspective and then a married perspective, because I think you approach it kind of differently depending on what your status is.
Or what's your status, what you're thinking about, what you want.
Right.
So the question basically is, can a male and female be just friends? Platonic.
Right.
Just friends.
Nothing else involved, just friends.
Nothing else involved.
Like how girlfriends are friends, dudes hang out together, friends like that. Is it possible?
Yeah, sorry.
Is it possible? I mean, I know we got a lot of feedback online prior to the show. People saying yes, it's possible. Yes, it's absolutely possible. But let's go ahead and talk about what a best friend is.
Okay.
So
the question basically
a best friend. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so a best friend is, in my estimation, a best friend.
Duh.
Right. You don't have best friends. You have a best friend.
You have like a bunch of besties. You can't have a bunch of besties.
But then that totally negates the whole best. Not right. Better, but best. Right. So best friend, I think, would be singular.
Okay.
And it would literally be a person who you completely 100% confide in 100% of the time with everything, whatever your issues are, or whatever you feel comfortable for, whatever that person, whoever that person is in your life.
Okay.
And so the question then becomes for a female. I'm speaking from a female's perspective.
Right.
If I would be comfortable, assuming I'm single now, okay? We're not gonna get to the married part yet. But if I'm single, and of course I'm female, would I be comfortable, or would it be really just platonic if I had a male be my best friend who I confide in everything? I mean, we hear a lot of stories about women having a male best friend and he being able to give her feedback on what a male thinks and stuff like that or whatever. I mean, is that really possible to stay at that level? Is that really possible?
Or does it end up being a situation where you end up having benefits? There's got to be some benefit to a friend. To a friend, there's got to be a benefit, some kind of benefit. In fact, anytime you have a friendship, there ought to be a benefit to it. Am I right?
True.
All right, but the benefits that we're talking about is the very fact that they're individuals that cannot stay just friends without something happening, without something sexual happening.
Wow.
So can a woman be truly platonic, and keep it that way, and even have that person as a best friend? Will it always work that way? I
think naturally, male and female attract. Naturally,
That's okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think naturally male and female attract.
Okay.
It does not necessarily have to be a sexual attraction, but there is something naturally that happens, when a male and female attract.
Okay. And
right?
So are we going against the laws of nature? So to speak, that when a guy is with a girl and the girl is just like his best friend, You know, and then so what does it look like when people get married, right? And they say, "Oh, today I've married my best friend." You ain't married your best friend today.
No,
because if you have a bestie, if that's your best friend, you're gonna talk about everything, right?
That's true.
You're gonna find a brother. Let's say he cheats on his girl, right?
Right.
His girlfriend. I ain't talking about wife now. His girlfriend.
Right.
He gonna walk up there and say, I made a mistake, and whatnot. Now you're gonna hide that. But if he was your best friend, you're gonna tell him.
He would really say it.
Am I correct?
No, you're absolutely correct.
All right. So to some degree, we're going against our nature. That's my belief. We're going against our nature somehow, saying that a woman can be your best friend as a guy. I just think that it kind of messes up everything in a sense,
Right. And so I saw someone, Rosemary Davis, in the chat room said most of her closest friends are men. Yeah, me too. I had mostly male friends growing up. Because it was just easier to have a male friend than to have female friends. I mean, I'm just saying,
All right.
I'm just saying.
No, I got
but
you.
that doesn't mean, but just because I have male friends does not mean that they are my best friend.
Listen, I see what Rosemary is saying. I get what she's saying, that, some of her closest friends are men. It's only awkward if you make it that way.
And boundaries are
important. Because boundaries are important, right?
Right.
Okay. You see, again, Rosemary, I get what you're saying. One of the things that I kind of believe, in a sense, that boundaries, sometimes you don't even have boundaries with friends. You understand where I'm coming from? You don't have,
No, you got to have boundaries with friends.
Well, I'm saying, if you got a best friend,
nah.
you're overstepping boundaries. I'm talking about if a guy and a guy, I have a boundary. I don't smoke.
Right.
Okay, you can set a boundary concerning him saying, okay, I won't smoke. But if you really want to get loose with someone and know that they're not going to be judgmental,
right?
It's your friend. When you're with a friend, it's easy to pass over those boundaries.
It is easy, and there's potentially an understanding of when those boundaries are crossed because you have a relationship like that.
Okay.
It is possible. But I still do think that regardless, you still have boundaries. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Regardless of best friend or not. I think we have a call. But before we go to that call, so what you're saying in terms of the boundary issue, what Rosemary just brought up, I think that's something that needs to be talked about as well.
Absolutely. We're going to get there.
Because that's a huge part of this whole discussion, especially as it relates to male-female, because I think certain understandings need to be in place. I'm talking about adults, mature. Understanding needs to be in place, especially if it's going to remain platonic.
Listen, stop the foolishness now. Let me say it this way. When I was dating, right? I was hanging out with my now wife. All right? If I'm going somewhere with some girl, I'm going to tell my wife. I'm going to tell my friend.
Your friend who's
Wendy,
your wife now.
Who's my wife now. I'm going out with so-and-so, right? If she was hanging out with someone and, didn't quite know him that well, she's going to text me his, what's it called again?
The vitals.
License plate number.
Right.
Who he is, the whole nine.
The vitals.
We were like tight.
Right.
And when I really knew we were best friends was when my brother got married. And we were talking about who's the best man, who's the best so-and-so. And I said, I could clearly, Wendy's my best. That's my dude right there.
Right.
All right. How long you going to be confiding in someone, hanging with someone, telling them all your secrets, the whole nine, and then I'm not blind.
Right.
She ain't with nobody. I'm not with nobody as my best friend. Something in my mind, nature is going to take over somewhere where I'm going to look and say, that's where I want to spend the rest of my life. I want to spend the rest of my life with that person. So
you're saying that it is not
Say it again.
Are you saying that
Let me put up a picture. Right? There's a picture I put up for everyone right there. So that's the picture right there I put up for everyone. We're going to discuss that in a little bit.
So it's not possible, or it's not possible? That's your position? It's not possible?
LaLa, I don't think as a best friend, right? We talking about best friends, right?
We are.
We're not talking about cool friends.
We're talking about best friends.
Rosemary was talking about some of her guy friends. Some of her best friends are guy friends. But your bestie?
Yeah.
You're down to the bone.
Right.
Bestie?
Road dog. Yeah.
Your road dog.
Right.
Is of the opposite sex?
Yeah.
And y'all at least and y'all tolerate good? Even if
He said that you kind of look good.
Even if you're ugly, you're gonna start looking good to one another.
Have mercy. Okay, cool.
Call me crazy.
So that's the discussion.
That's the discussion.
And I'm all for it. That's the discussion. I mean, I don't do best friends. I don't do.
Your husband, I don't think your husband would like that.
My husband is the closest person to a best friend for me, but I don't do best friends.
You don't as a girl or as a woman? You don't have a best friend as a girl?
I've never done.
You have some people from Atlanta.
I have some. No, I have some very, very close friends. I have some extremely, very, very close friends. But we're talking best friend. I can't name one person who's a best friend. I'm telling you, and I've never done that. And my friends in Atlanta who know me know that about me. So ain't nobody gonna be calling me because they don't know.
You see, I don't even know why she's in this conversation.
I'm just saying, no.
But you have a best friend. Wendy was my best friend. Okay. That's probably some Jacobs along the way because you know exactly who I am.
That's cool.
And I really believe that when you're married, right? When you're married, it is so important that you grow as best friends.
No, that I agree.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think it could be crazy if you marry your best friend. If you marry your best friend,
right, yeah.
That's kind of crazy. You're not really growing together in that sense.
Right, yeah, no.
So it's really, sometimes you got to take a step back and move forward when you're marrying, when you think that you're marrying your best friend.
Right.
But to marry someone, to hang out with someone who's a best friend of the opposite sex, I believe that the boundary lines are thinned. Mm. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's what I believe. Rosemary, you can call in if you want to, but I really believe that.
We have two island numbers from those area codes.
It's an island number?
One is ready to speak, and the other one is from the Virgin Islands. But they're not saying. Okay, so let me just say this, right? If you guys want to talk to us, call 347-989-8128. And if you want to speak, press 1. Mm-hmm. Again, that number is 347-989-8128. You can call in and just listen. But if you want to talk to us, press 1. We have a number right now. I know this area code. 284 area code. Welcome to BBC Unplugged. Are you going? You have to click.
I gotta click this.
You got it.
Yes, sir.
No, you gotta click that. Yeah, click that so they can talk. Yeah. Welcome to BBC Unplugged. Area code 284. Who is this?
Hi, Landy.
I knew it was you. Hi, good evening, John. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm sorry. I haven't spoken to this person in, 10, 15 years, maybe?
Hey, Joan, we want to hear from you.
I'm sorry, Joan. Go ahead, Joan. She says a birthday with Al. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We spoke and each other the last time when your second daughter was born.
Yes, Alexa. Yes, that's 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's 7 years. Mm-hmm. It's good to hear your voice. You have something for us tonight? I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to call you afterwards. Do you have something for us this evening? I'm sorry.
Yes, because I'm actually studying, but I like the topic, and I thought I would take some time to call in because I don't agree with some of the things Mr. Graham was just saying.
I love you, though. I love you. Go ahead.
I think I'm like you, Landy. I've never really had a best friend. There are times people back me into a corner to try and say, who's your best friend? But I don't have best friends. I have a lot of categories of friends.
Right.
And then I have my inner circle. I have friends for different things.
Yes.
But a lot of people consider me a best friend. Mm-hmm. But to answer the question, to be direct, I do think in some instances, you can have best friends of the opposite sex, but I think it comes with a level of maturity, and I'm speaking from experience. One, I'm single. I'm single.
Joan, you single?
And I've got...
Joan,
yes, I am.
You sound good.
And I've got myself in situations where I'm friends with a male, and, we're cool, and the more we get to know one another and they realize they can depend on me or they can always turn to me for advice or whatever, then they want to cross the line, and I often have to draw the line and say, hey, no, we just cool. Right. And they'll be like, we could hang. I'm falling in love with you. And I'm like, no, you're just comfortable,
Right.
You just know you can run to me and you can trust me, so you think you're in love with me, you know. But I know how to look for the signs of that.
Right.
But I have cross the board platonic male friends that has never crossed the line, never raised any kind of questions to me.
Right.
But I do understand that that comes with a level of maturity and honesty between two people.
Right.
The other thing I wanted to say is, I think it depends on where you are. Caribbean culture almost makes it impossible for male and female best friends. Because you know how it is in the Caribbean, Landy. Anytime you start hanging up with a man or a man hangs out with a woman too often, you must be involved.
Something's got
to
be
It's just the perception that is out there that you're involved. And so it makes it hard to maintain a platonic relationship with the opposite sex in the Caribbean because of that perception. And if people hear you say y'all are just friends, especially for the males, you know, they're chided, and people say, "Oh, you're a fool. You ain't hit that yet." You know, that kind of thing. So it's difficult. But this is the last thing I will say. I could say a lot more, but this is the last thing I will say. I will say I do definitely have a lot of male friends that are really, really close to me. But you know, one of the things that I have made it a point to do with my male friends is if they're dating somebody and it's serious, or if they're married, or those persons become my friends real quick.
Yes.
Real quick.
Yes.
Because you don't want to cause any kind of contention in this marriage if this is your real friend. Now, if this is not your real friend and you really have alternative intentions, you won't do that. But for me, if I have a male friend that's dear to me and we're just friends, listen, girlfriend, wifey, listen, you and I are going to be friends too. We don't have to be best friends. But we're going to be cool.
Absolutely.
Because I ain't disrespecting you, and I don't want you to even think for a moment. And certain things I may want to talk to my friend about, I talk it in front of them because I want them to be comfortable to know, hey, there's nothing going on here. You know?
And that's actually how me and Joan met, because she was friends with my husband, then boyfriend at the time. And that's how me and Joan met, and that's how me and Joan became really good friends.
See, but that's the way it's supposed to be.
But absolutely, and the thing is, a lot of people don't respect that boundary. Or they don't respect the fact that, you know, I'm just going to be, they just think they could be friends with one person and not friends with the other. I'm only calling one, but I'm not calling the other. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
You see, but again, Joan, this is my exact point. My exact point is that some of the things that you just talked about came with boundaries. You see where I'm coming from? And then for those who are listening and for those who are in the chat room, what is so important is that the question is, who draws the line in the friendship? Okay, and most of the time, that's why I put this. You know, that's why I put this this sign up, or what do you call this thing up here, which says, you know, a guy draws the line, a woman draws the line, or the one who doesn't really want something to happen in the relationship is the one that's drawing the line. But the guys that want to be with you, Joan, or anyone else in an instance like that, don't you think it's possible that they're only reacting to what's natural for them when they find someone like that? You understand where I'm coming from? Not to say, okay, I'm not talking about the guy that just want to hit it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking the guy that says, yo, when I go to this place, I'm constantly thinking of that person. When I do this, I'm constantly thinking of that person. But the other person only sees you as a best friend. What has to be established is that the both of you see each other only as a best friend. Because someone is going to get mixed up. Someone is going to go to other, you know, is going to think differently if we're not careful of establishing the boundaries. And I love what you said, Joan, really. It's establishing it with maturity and knowing where you want this relationship to go. Because what can often happen is someone who's in a relationship like this, and then when that other person meets someone else, that person is taking up their time. And that person has to be totally okay with that, of the opposite sex. And they have now met someone who's going to take up more of that other person's time. That's why for me, it's not just a friend that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that whole best friend issue.
Right.
You see where I'm coming from? But Joan, I hear where you're coming from. Thank you so much. I think you just buzzed the room a little bit just now. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Joan. We're gonna talk, honey. We're gonna talk. Okay? All right. Yeah, that's a good friend of mine from UVI, the University of the Virgin Islands. Wow. Okay, we have another caller. 301 area code, last 4 digits 3346. You are live with the BBC Unplugged. Welcome. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening.
Hey.
So I wanted to call to chime in on the last caller. I agree with a lot of what she said, but as opposed to saying maturity, I will also, well, in addition to saying maturity, I will say your demeanor. How you carry yourself and how you present yourself.
I thought she said she's the meaner.
Right. Demeanor.
Demeanor. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and why I say so is, like, personally, I was a tomboy my whole life. All of my closest friends and my best friends are all men and male. I didn't start having female friends until high school because, as the last caller said, Joan, like growing up in the islands, once you have male friends and all, you're kind of seen as that girl. So for me, female friendships have always been a survival thing. I'm friends with them. They know I'm not hooking up or whatever it is with any guys. Those are just my friends. And hopefully if the rumor gets to them, then they can squash it on the end. I've just only had female friends out of survival and never really had my very first close female friend that I'm still good friends with till this day from in college. But what I want to say is, like, for guys, for the most part, I'm not going to say maybe it might have started up for them. Personally, when I walk into a room, I don't walk into the room to say, oh, wow, that guy's cute, who is his information? I'm interested. When I walk into a room and I see a guy, I'm just like, oh, okay, he seems cool. We could definitely be brothers, or nah, a brother-sister relationship, or nah, he's just going to be a friend, or oh, I can definitely see us being good friends down the line. And that's my mindset when I meet guys. Guys might see me and think, okay, who is she? What's the number? But once they get to spend more than an hour or so around me, their disposition automatically changes into, yeah, she can only be a homie or a sister or a friend. And that's one of the things that my mom has always told me, that I need to be careful with that crap because I might end up not having a whole rack of good male friends but never married, because all of my close friends, I'm just a friend to guys as opposed to that person that it's like, okay, maybe I can pursue something romantic with them. No, for me, it's just like I let them know straight up. Well, I don't even have to speak it. Based on how I carry myself, they automatically just realize that, okay, yeah, it can only be a clean friendship. With my best friend right now, and I mean, I tell him everything, he tells me everything. I've never met his girlfriend, but we know of each other. I know everything about her. In fact, when he started dating her, I was the one who told him. From the moment he told me about her, I told him she's the one. And when they finally got engaged, she and I became Facebook friends. And she told me, I've always loved you even though I did not know you, because he always told me that from day one you told him that I was the one. And it's just like, we've chatted via inbox every now and then, me and her. But him and our relationship fell off, not because I don't love him any less or I don't consider him as much as a best friend anymore. It's just that I respect that boundary now, knowing that, okay, his relationship went from dating the person to him being engaged to a person to soon be married. Like, I have to make that transition and understand that I cannot be calling or texting this person at any hour of the night anymore. That doesn't mean that the person's any less than my friend. On the other hand, I've been in relationships, like I can say as of recently, where a woman has walked up to me and the person I was dating to tell us, when did this happen? He's like my brother, and he never told me that you guys were talking or courting, and now I just find out that you're dating. He's like my brother-in-law. I should be knowing. I should know. And I kind of told him right then and there, she's a little bit too concerned about the whole throwing the sister-brother card around a little bit way too much. If indeed you are her brother, she and I are going to be sisters. Eventually, as the relationship progressed, she stopped talking to me.
Right. Okay.
Over me being... And honestly, if I did not know the person that I was with, and I told him so, if I did not know who you were, I would definitely think that there was something going on between you and that woman, because there was no reason why someone who claims to be your sister automatically falls off once you start dating someone else. Like, I don't get it. And you're saying as far away as possible as you can be from me, when before that, you never really had that problem. So I guess all this to say is, I do believe in some instances, some women can be friends with men, vice versa, but in other instances, no. It depends on the person, your demeanor, your level of maturity, and what you're looking for. Because if you are someone who's just looking for the next best thing, or you don't have an idea of what you want in life, or in your friendships, or in your relationships, then you're just going to be that person that goes with emotion or with visuals, as opposed to having a set plan. This is what I'm looking for in a relationship. Does this person fit the bill? And yeah.
So essentially, to answer the question, it is possible, but it really depends on the individuals involved. That's what I got from what you were saying. Because some people can handle it, some people can't. The previous caller before you said what she does to make sure that it's okay to maintain her relationship with the person of the opposite sex. And she does that by pulling in his now interest, his now love interest, or whatever. And then other people don't think to do that, and they keep it separate, and it may or may not work. But depending on the maturity of the individual, depending on how they approach the situation, and I would even dare to say, depending on the security of that person, determines whether or not they can have a successful best friend be the opposite sex. I would say that.
Carl, I want to thank you for that, and one of the things that we need to realize also, especially concerning a call like this, is what's so important for us right now is to really ask the question: Is this friendship equal, or is there someone who's controlling the friendship? Okay, let's be real about this. You know, Abby calls it in this room, right? Friendlationship. Friendlationship. Okay. You will find that whether you are of the same sex, whether you're the opposite sex, that even in your relationship, someone seems to be the aggressor as the best friend, and one seems to be the
more submissive one.
Submissive one in the relationship. Are you with me? Okay. I dare say that if you have a man who's in a relationship with a woman, and the woman is their best friend, and they see each other as best friends, not just friends, right? Best friends. Somewhere in one of those individuals' minds, they're going to give in to their natural instinct and at least ask themselves the question, I wonder if that's mine. But don't butt me yet. Don't butt me yet. Okay. No, and really, if you're in the chat room, right? Hold off on the chat room. Let's really be real about this. You're talking about a man and a woman who are best friends. They share secrets, right? They joke around together. They travel together. These best friends don't need 2 rooms when they travel. Am I correct? Now come on, yo. Okay. Because they're best friends, correct?
Right, but still.
I'm in my room and my best friend walks out the shower. Okay? Because she knows that I ain't thinking about her that way.
Nah, no.
Why? Because she has
no.
boundaries?
I think it is still possible. It may still be possible to have a best friend be the opposite sex, but still have appropriate boundaries. I mean, there are obvious things. A man is turned on by sight. You walk out the shower, really? Yes, you're my best friend. You ain't thinking about me, but hello.
Yeah, but once that guy talks to the girl next door that he just met in a hotel room, I don't see that girl cheering him on. I believe what Abby is saying. I believe women are territorial, whether they're friends or whether they're buddies, whatever you want to call it. I believe women are territorial, and if
Absolutely.
a man is truly into his friendship, he can't even see if he. My brother's my boy. My brother is my boy. I don't have a best friend. My best friend is my brother, my twin brother. And if a dude is spending more time with my brother, I'm going to be jealous.
Okay.
Oh,
I get that. No, I get that.
So if me and my girl, that's my girl, my home girl, we travel together, but then she kind of starts traveling with this guy now. Mm-hmm. And if we always go to the arcade, you know what I'm saying? But she goes to the arcade now with this guy. Or we always go to diners every Tuesday, but we can't go to diners every Tuesday anymore because you were in.
I think that's anybody though.
But that's what I'm saying. It is anybody. But look at the dynamics between a male and a female relationship now. Mm-hmm. That something is taken away, something's got to be given. No matter how you draw the line, it's almost like you got to draw up a contract to say this is the way the relationship is going to be. You understand where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. Because when me and Wendy were best friends, but Wendy had a girlfriend that she was best friends with. Mm-hmm. She had another girlfriend that she was best friend. They three all were best friends. I couldn't get into that circle, right? But the truth of the matter is, maybe I was her best friend. Mm-hmm. I saw her as a best friend for what she could do for me, for what we hung out for. You understand where I'm coming from? Mm-hmm. So I don't care how you put it. You know, I really believe that our bodies, our mindset, our libido, our chromosomes were meant to attract.
Absolutely.
Okay? I don't care if you're my best friend.
Yes, I get that. Yes, absolutely, they were meant to attract.
Let me get in trouble right now. Let me get in trouble. Wendy's my best friend, right? When I see her come to church, when we were just friends, and she come to church and she looking nice.
No one is saying that that's impossible. No one is saying that's impossible.
Talk about boundary line. Boundary line.
No one is saying that's impossible. What we're saying is that because you have that attraction, or because you notice an attraction, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to submit to that attraction, succumb to that attraction. That's.
Watch your words.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that doesn't mean that has to necessarily happen. Yes, it can happen, and it probably will because opposites attract.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Here it is. Davina says, "Oh, I have a best friend, right? That's a male. He can take off his shirt in front of me. All right. The question is, Davina, does he have a nice chest?
How fine is he,
Davina?
I mean, you know,
he can take his. Come on. I mean,
I'm sure. I'm just don't do that to her.
You know, and even Abby is saying he must be attractive. There's, you know, I mean, come on.
Really? But you looked. No, I'm kidding. No.
I'm a man and you know, I just think, you know, now, where the rubber meets the road, can someone be best friends as a male and a female? I think so, but I don't believe that I don't believe that I don't believe that it can last.
You don't think it can last?
No, I don't think it can last.
And we're talking single people here.
We didn't even get to marry.
We didn't even get to marry.
I don't think it can last.
Okay. I agree with that, but I'm just trying to bring out the discussion.
I don't have an issue with it.
She said, I got no issue. Okay, I'm trying to bring out the discussion that, yes, because there's an attraction, does that mean that it has to lead to something? Huh? Does it mean it has to lead to something because there's an attraction?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You see people, your best friend, yeah, my best friend looks nice. I'm going to try and hook you up over here. I'm going to try and hook you up over there or whatever. But does that mean that I have to, because I recognize that you are attractive, that I now have to, you know, fall for that? Does that mean that?
No, and this is, look, what Davina is saying now. Look what the last thing Davina says. Davina says, He is attractive.
But they've made a decision not to go there. They've created that boundary.
They've created a boundary.
Absolutely. So why is that not possible? That is two mature adults saying...
Call Davina. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, I mean...
Because I have a question for you on that one.
347-989-8128. Press 1, Davina, so we can know that you're there. We have a person here, area code 407.
Florida.
That is interested in speaking with us. Good evening. Welcome to BBC Unplugged.
Hi, good evening. This is Bianca. I've had this conversation with my boyfriend that I'm talking to right now.
Okay.
He thinks you should cut off all, like, opposite sex friends because of the possibility of troubles that it can start. And I just heard y'all say y'all haven't gotten into a relationship. Of course, I think y'all have established that you can have, quote unquote, best friend of the opposite sex, but it takes a lot. And what I've learned the hard way, and it seems like everybody kind of touched on it, is one of the partners eventually have some sort of feelings for each other, but they might not have crossed that line. And also, it didn't happen. I think that's like a small percentage that it didn't happen.
Hold on, Bianca. Please turn down your
computer.
Your computer, so we can hear you clearly.
Hold on.
I
don't know what.
Oh, that's not the computer. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. I feel like it can happen. I've seen it work where there is a friend that is of the opposite sex. But I think at one time or another, one of the people put themselves there because they want that friend to be more. And they kind of do things as a friend person would do. And talking to other guys, they do it all the time. They like this girl where, they want her. And so they get put in the friend zone. And they are the best friend ever, as long as it takes. And they're just waiting for that moment to the girl to slip up and be more. So I think it's possible, but a big portion of it may not work. And then when it comes to relationships, a lot of people are not loyal anymore. Like
loyal to the friendship? Are you saying loyal to the friendship?
They're not loyal and or know their place.
Right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
so,
yes.
I have a man, they're stepping over big time boundaries.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Conversations should stop. You don't, like y'all said, don't call at certain hours. Just respect for the relationship as a whole. Like, if I have male friends that have gotten married, and we were good friends, but because I respect that relationship, best believe I barely hug them.
Right.
Wow.
Because I don't want to give them that appearance of evil.
Right.
I don't try to get, biblical. But you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I just make sure, I will check up on them once in a blue moon. How's the kids? Just to say that we are relevant. We're cool. But, but other people, they put their 2 cents in their marriage. It's just a little bit much. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask you a question, Bianca? You're not married. You're talking about your boyfriend. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to marry your boyfriend, would he have a problem with you having good friends that are guys that, in that manner?
He pretty much says no. We've talked about it because I've had like a couple of, quote unquote good male friends. But looking back at the situation, I see what he's talking about because they have tried to cross the line at one time or point.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I see what he's talking about. Now, it just cuts out a lot of
drama
issues on either end to say, like, I'm talking to him about my problems, and he may, fall for me because he wants to save a girl. You know what I'm saying? I want to save her.
Yes.
And you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
emotions can't start. Like, so, like, somebody coming out of the bathroom, like how you said, coming out of the bathroom naked, whether or not you are, y'all know each other since I was 2, that's inappropriate.
It is. It is.
From jump. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
So it's just certain things you just don't do. Like how y'all say, start a boundary, and you can handle that. You know what I'm saying? But people aren't loyal like they used to be.
Right.
And
So,
you know what? I love that. I mean, if we even if we had a notes in it, put in the notes that when you are in a friendship, there should be some loyalty in a friendship. There's got to be loyalty in a friendship.
Right.
Loyalty even to the guy that you're dating, not even married to, dating. That there's got to be loyalty there. What I do suggest, and I'm suggesting, I'm not giving you any advice, so to speak, but I do suggest that he knows who your friends are or were. Oh, you understand where I'm coming from? Especially if you're exclusive, especially if you're going to moving towards marriage with him. Are you understand where I'm coming from?
yes, and I have cut off friends because I feel like he says that he would put there's some people that he just don't feel threatened. I think it's being threatened by. He's kind of brings it up a little bit, and I feel like just to cut off any kind of situations of him feeling threatened, I don't even entertain it. So, and I feel like if you are my friend, no matter how long it's been since I talked to you, you have to understand that now I'm trying, since you didn't want to wipe me up, I'm trying to get married here or find that one.
Right.
Then you need to know when to take a back seat.
Right.
And chill out. And if I don't marry him and I break up with him, not saying that we could be old buddy or pal again, but you shouldn't oh, you too good for me now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but that's just like, yeah.
I think Bianca raised again a really good point in that regardless of what the relationship is, the people in the relationship need to be very aware of the other person's situation. So if the other person's status is they're dating someone, then that person needs to make sure that they now have the mindset that I'm not just friends with that one person, I'm friends with both of them. And they need to treat it that way. So if I call you and I can't find him, then I'm gonna call him and be like, where y'all at or whatever, because it's now a friendship with the both of you, But at the end of the day, if your man is like, no, it ain't gonna happen, and just gonna keep things real simple, then and you cool with that, then that's y'all. That's that's y'all.
Bianca, I don't know where you are in your relationship concerning this, but I'm gonna throw something your way.
I thought you were about to pray for her. I thought you.
No,
I'm a pray.
What I want to share with you is that I don't believe that you used the word concerning him that he may be threatened. Okay. What I want to say is that he's careful. I want you to use those words with him concerning him, that he's careful, not threatened. Or you understand where I'm coming from? You may know him enough to feel that he is threatened. But let's look at the positive side, or in saying not threatened, but more careful, because he's trying to secure both of you.
Right.
Is that okay? Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He said that.
He did.
Because I personally was kind of on the fence, like, hey, I don't mind having outside of the opposite sex, because we Seventh-day Adventists kind of super friendly, everybody going over people's houses, blah, 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 but he's not used to that. Oh. So it was,
okay.
But I have to see where he's coming from to say, like, it is a slight, careful / threatened. So because I liked him, and I didn't feel like I had that many best friends to say I have to chop them off, I let the other ones go, because at the end of the day, I kind of saw that it could have been a possibility of a relationship. So they weren't like true best friends to say, like, I have to worry about something.
Yeah.
So, but that's, yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I think respect and awareness is a big deal. I'm not really saying it's impossible to have a best friend of the opposite sex while you're single. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think that there just needs to be an understanding, and both of you have to be in a place where you kind of accept where the relationship is, and be open to, like, if if something is starting to present itself, be open to talking about it. You know, that's what friends do.
Right.
You talk about stuff as things happen in your relationship. And so I don't think it's impossible to have a person of the opposite sex be your best friend in the single status. That's you know, I'm cool with the single status. Now, when you bring somebody else into the equation, you have to think for that other person, because not everyone is going to respect the boundary of you now being in a relationship and keep the conversations where they need to be. Not everyone is going to respect that. And like you spoke about loyalty, Bianca, if they're not going to respect that, then they're not loyal to your friendship, because you have now stated that I'm into this person and I need you to respect the fact that I'm into this person. And if they're not respecting that, then you now have to look at that friendship a little differently.
Yes, very true.
Wow.
And I've had to do that. Actually, I had to do that last night. And
She said last night.
cut them off. And they was like, oh, so you're cutting me off. And I'm like, well, yeah, I have to, because I don't think it's appropriate for me to go visit you as a friend. And I have a man, and I know he'd be mad. So because I know he's mad, he would get disappointed, or, like trust. I don't want to lose his trust already.
Sure.
I'm not going to visit you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think as a friend, if this isn't a friend in general, I think to a certain extent, as long as you're not in a relationship, you can pretty much be friends with whomever you want to. But when it comes to that relationship status, they have, on both parties, have to understand that, now it's time that they're trying to cultivate and get a good, develop a strong relationship with somebody that's potential. And they, as a friend, they have to understand that and, take a step back as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bianca, thank you so much for your call. Very, very insightful call.
So, wait, which part of Florida are you in? Which part of Florida?
I am actually in Richmond. I am
Richmond.
Your aunt, Auntie Kay's granddaughter, if you remember. Anyway, but yeah, I'm in Richmond.
I know exactly who you are.
Yes.
Your face.
Ephesus Church.
Yeah, I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
I got you, girl.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Bianca. Now there's a
Facebook me. All right, later.
There's a question that came through. Kwani is asking, where do you draw the line though? When is it creating boundaries, and when is it appeasing a person with low self-esteem, or is it just jealous of anyone that is not them?
Could you repeat that again?
Okay, so where do you draw the line?
Right.
When is it creating boundaries, and when is it appeasing a person with low self-esteem, or is just jealous of anyone that is not them? So this is what I say.
Mercy.
Relationship by relationship takes place. So when you get to know someone in a romantic relationship, I'm not talking about your best friend, I'm talking about your romantic relationship, and that person tells you, I'm not comfortable with this, I'm not comfortable with that, they're telling you their boundaries and stuff like that. It's up to you whether or not you accept that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's up to you. I mean, hopefully these discussions are taking place before you even get married. So it's up to you to say, you know what, I respect your boundaries, but I ain't going for it. And say, this ain't gonna work if you holding fast to that. Or I respect them, I understand, and we can work this through, even if it's in the middle of insecurity. Even if it's in the middle of that person's insecurity, because they're accepting all your stuff, you're accepting all their stuff. If you choose to accept them in their insecurity, and those are the boundaries or the limitations they're putting on your relationship, that's on you and your relationship. You work your relationship for how it works for you. That's, if that may not work for somebody else.
As two friends. Michelle Combs says something. Queens, New York. She says something. And I'm asking this. Mm-hmm. Should you cut off people?
I think.
Cut back.
Let me tell you.
Or cut back. No. You see, I don't want us to get off track. That we're talking about best friends here.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if Rosemary, I'm using you as an example, Rosemary, because I see what you're writing there. You got Rosemary who says, okay, she can't have a best friend. If you have a best friend and then you dating someone else and you cut off instead of cut back.
So it depends though. It depends on where you are. It depends if you've had to revisit something. It depends if they are attempting to manipulate you. Okay. If they're attempting to manipulate
best friends.
Manipulation can take place in best friendship. Mm. It can. And so if they're attempting to manipulate you in your friendship and you still label them as a best friend or whatever, and you have revisited something and they're aware of something, then cut them off.
All this talk tells me, right? No, I'm serious. All this talk to me, I'm going to get you off my camera. I'm putting myself on it by myself. All this talk tells me is that it's too much dynamics, too many crazy dynamics as a male and a female.
No. What this says is there are crazy dynamics in relationships, period.
Okay.
Period. It doesn't matter because it could be a female. It could be a female that was hanging with you every Saturday night, and then when you get married, you can't hang no more, and she mad. It's not a male-female thing. It's a relationship thing. But it is further, the complexity increases when it becomes a male, because now you have a potential of another interest.
Okay. Natasha says something, right? She says, check that, control that, versus cut it off, right? Okay. Who's the one that's more likely to be checking that? Who's the one? You gotta check that, girl.
What you trying? You trying to leave the answer? It's always the woman.
It's always the woman that's gotta be checking the dude. Right? More likely than ever, it's always the woman that's always checking the dude, because the dude is saying, there's something to that. The only time I find that a woman who's a friend, who's thinking, man, maybe that could be me, is if maybe she's alone now.
And she has some deficiencies, potentially.
All right? And even some insecurities that she may see now that it is filled with a man.
Yes.
And that man right there.
Now that's a point right there.
Okay. So at the end of the day, that's the guy that I can see who's opening the car door for me, because I know he opens the car door for women. That's the guy that's taking care of his mother, right? So I know he's going to take care of me, all right? That's the guy that's always in Sabbath school. My best friend always go to Sabbath school. When it's time to, when you start dating all these guys, your best friend is over here, and you say, my best friend is not dating anyone, or is dating someone, you even may say to yourself, well, somewhere down the line, I'm going to put up another one, right? Look, I'm going to put up another one. This is where the confusion comes up. You're sitting together? Come on, y'all. Come on. Everybody, take some time and look at this.
Yeah.
You're sitting together. It's just the both of you. There's no group dating.
Right.
Remember, they're not talking. They're thinking.
Right. They're thinking.
The dude is thinking, are we just friends here?
Yeah.
She's thinking, is this a date?
Yeah.
And it really messes up for my man when it looks like this.
Right.
She's saying, yeah, I can do this.
That's why.
And he's saying, no, there's a dynamics. There's a definite dynamic between a male and a female. Do I believe it can happen? Yes. I do believe it can happen.
Yeah.
Do I believe that?
But it requires more.
It requires more.
But it's not impossible.
More. Listen, when you're friends, right, there's maintenance. Am I right?
Absolutely.
There's maintenance when you're
Absolutely.
friends. I think there's much more maintenance that's required when you're dealing with someone of the opposite sex. Because you're not only maintaining a friendship between you and that person, but the way other people, Joan said it, the way other people see the relationship happening, then you got to start, maybe we shouldn't go here together, maybe we shouldn't do this, maybe we shouldn't do that, maybe we shouldn't fly out together, maybe we shouldn't
do so. You got to do a lot more managing out.
You got to manage so
You got to do a lot more managing. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
If Mindy had married some other guy, no, let me put it right. Let me be right. Let me say this right. If I would have married another woman, I would be constantly comparing that other woman
to Wendy.
Are you understand where I'm coming from? Because your best friend is the meter stick. Am I right? Today I married my best friend. Stop fooling yourself. Stop fooling yourself. Wendy becomes the meter stick. And
but that's if your best friend is of the opposite sex. That only occurs if your best friend is of the opposite sex. Because if you're comparing, you're saying you would compare your whoever this other person is.
I'm not comparing my wife.
No. Right.
I'm not comparing my wife to my dude.
So that's now another. So that just says then that in your mind you are looking at that female best friend.
Okay.
As what a potential mate would be for you.
Okay.
Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think that's the meter stick. I think that person becomes your meter stick.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
But I don't think we're sitting here saying that doesn't happen. I don't think we're saying that those types of thoughts don't happen. I don't think we're saying that the attraction may never. I think what we're saying is it possible for those things to happen and you not act on them or you not feed into them? Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. That's the way we're created. We are attracted, male and female are attracted to one another.
Right.
And so, you know, that's the way we're created. But we have...
At the end of the day, I mean, not at the end of the day, we ain't done, right? Let me say this. I did not mind as Wendy's friend, right? Because I can write a book on this because I really married my best friend. Okay, straight off. But when she was hanging out with someone else, I didn't feel anyway. I didn't feel jealous. Okay. I didn't feel no way at all. Okay. When she said, "Paul, I'm going out with so-and-so or whatever," I didn't feel jealous at all. Okay? You know, I never asked her. Maybe I'll ask her when this is over. Did you feel jealous with me? Or you understand where we're coming from? Me going with someone, but I didn't feel jealous at all. But the time that I really noticed her as this person is when all these people that I was dating couldn't measure up to my friendship. Right. Do you see where I'm coming from? So, you know.
That's your barometer right there.
That's the barometer right there. That's the barometer. I think we got some more callers.
We do. I think we already got these two. But so, area code 443, last four digits 3088. You are live with BBC Unplugged. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. This is Karen calling from Baltimore, and very glad that we're discussing this topic. I wish there were more men calling in to give their viewpoint besides Pastor Graham. But I can speak of my own experience because I am single and I make friends quickly more with men than I do with women. And I was blessed with two best friends. One that was a successful friendship, in meaning that we did not have sex, and one that was not as successful, but he was still my best friend. The one that was successful, and I think men and women can be friends, but you need discipline, and you need to have self-control, and you need to be aware and honest with yourself, because naturally, like you said earlier, LaLa, that we are created to be attracted to one another, male and female. And those are the characteristics you look for in a mate that you also find in a best friend. Right. Why it was successful was because, I mean, I was throwing myself at the brother, but he let me know every time that he had a girlfriend. And eventually I learned to respect that, and we were like brother and sister. We were so close. Unfortunately, our friendship didn't last when he got married, because she didn't feel comfortable him having another female friend. And at first I was upset about it, but eventually the thing that took me time to respect his denying me my advances, you know, rejecting me, I eventually accepted it. I really accepted and respected that he put his relationship with his wife before mine. People didn't necessarily agree with that, but you know, that's their marriage.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And the other one that was, I'll just finish this. The other one that was not successful, he did get married. And based on my experience with my first friend, I just removed myself from that picture because I felt like his wife should be his only friend. And it gets mixed up when you have single friends with married friends. Maybe other people could do it. I just know that it's just not a good thing. So I stepped out of that picture, and we're still friends to this day, but very distant.
Well, you know, I want to say something to you, Karen. Not likely will a woman come on and say that I tried. You know what I'm saying? You know, you probably kind of hide that. And I like your candor simply because you're saying that you respected the marriage. You see where I'm coming from? Right. But, you know, even if a man is dating, which is probably another show, but if a man is dating someone and you feel like you would like to be with that person, I don't feel that there's anything wrong with making your intentions known. I don't believe so. I mean, you can respect the other person, you know, but once he says, I'm good, and then you back off, then fine. Right. You know, I mean, I think that that was an awesome thing to say. It doesn't show that you're fast. It doesn't show that you are, you know, that you're disrespectful. Right. It shows that this is what I would want. I know this person. Right. This is what I would want. And if I can try to get that BMW before I, you know, then so let it be. But when you find that the salesman is not selling,
right,
then you say, okay, then this is where it needs to be. You then adjust.
Right.
Okay? And I think a lot of mistakes that we make, I'm not saying you, now, anyway, I think we make the mistake that when we're dating, when we are friends with someone who is of the opposite sex, there's a respect level. More than there being a respect level, there is a period of, there's also a sense of adjusting. There's a sense of adjusting. And I think it's always important to adjust along the way.
Right.
Some people just can't.
Some people can't.
Some people just can't adjust.
Exactly.
And I'm going to be real with you. Like, if you can be real enough to say that I did this or I tried this, I can be real enough to say I don't adjust well. I just don't adjust well. And it's okay to say I don't adjust well. It's difficult sometimes to manage your feelings when you when you see an opportunity that you are wondering, maybe God has this for me. But then maybe God is showing you the meter stick. You see where I'm coming from. Maybe God is just showing you the meter stick. Hey, Karen, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
We have another, thank you, Karen. We have another caller. 404 Georgia, area code, last 4 digits, 3842. You are live with BBC Unplugged. Good evening.
How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up? It's a dude. We got a dude. Hi, how are you?
Oh, yeah, you got a dude. Yeah. Hi, y'all. It's cool. I jumped in on y'all conversation a little late and all, but just personally, my name's Shannon, by the way.
What's up?
I have a best friend, female. We've been friends since 7th grade. You feel? Her and all the relationship stuff, with her and vice versa, you know what I mean? Yeah. And right now she's engaged. And me and her fiance, we met, you know what I mean? We've been around each other a couple times. And we had a good conversation, you know what I mean? So we understand, like, yeah, man, that's your, you know what I mean? Like, ain't no funny stuff. That really is her friend, you know what I mean? And my girlfriend, she met my best friend, you know what I mean? And she was just like, I know that's your best friend, it's nothing, I don't get no funny vibe or nothing like that when y'all around each other. Y'all really interact like friends, you know what I mean? You can tell. And ain't no funny stuff. So I know for a fact that it's possible, you know what I mean? But you also have to understand, like you say, you got to understand your boundaries. You got to have respect, total respect for each other in their relationship, no matter what it is, you know what I mean, or who they're with. You still have to respect their relationship.
That's right.
And,
that's right.
We there and all, you know what I mean? Even so, we don't sense the, engagement and all, you know what I mean? They, working on their marriage, the wedding coming up shortly and all, but we backed off of, you know what I mean, as far as much as we used to see each other, you know what I mean, we don't do it as much, but any given time, you know what I mean, she kick it for hours. She kick into the wee hours of the night, but he knows if she, ain't no funny stuff. And like I say, it's all about your respect and how you respect their mate, you know what I mean? Yeah. And as long as everyone has that understanding and they don't, everybody is secure and cool with each other, that's all right as far as once they're getting into a marriage or something, stepping into that. But like personally, I've never been to where I've had more than just those friendship feelings for her. She's a beautiful woman, don't get me twisted. I'm quite handsome myself, but we never had, we've never stepped over those boundaries, you know what I mean? Because it's always been a mutual friendship, you know what I mean? Like, we respect each other, we understand where we at, we understand where we stand as friends, you know what I mean? Yeah. Know the family, all of, you know what I mean, the whole shebang, but it's possible. Yeah. But as long as you as a person understand, like you say, those boundaries and your loyalty and you respect, that respect is probably the major, like, man, it don't get no bigger than that respect level. You gotta have respect. So even if they be like, well, I can't be around you too much, whatever. He don't feel this kind of, or he feels some kind of way, or if it was a female, she feel this kind of way. You gotta respect that. If that is your friend, you know your friend, they're not telling you nothing just because, so you really have to respect that. And the fact that we don't see each other as much, but we still talk every blue moon, or like I say, it can be any given day she'll pull up and we'll kick it for hours and just catch all the way back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tight. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Shannon. It is possible. It is entirely possible, but you got to have some mature individuals that understand each other and understand the situation. And I think it's respectable too that you spoke to her fiance, you know, and just say like, look, ain't nothing like that going on, so don't feel no kind of way. But it is possible, and I think that's a good example that she just gave us.
No, now let's be clear about this. Shannon, let me ask you a question. Did you feel any way indifferent, like you were losing a friend? You know, I mean, just...
Not at all.
Okay, cool.
Not at all.
Okay, cool.
Not at all.
Cool.
That's cool.
I say, any given day, like I say, when we don't speak, you know, we still, all important holidays we call, hey, how you doing, everybody, all right? It doesn't matter, but like, we used to probably kick it a couple times a week, or she come, you know, she'll stop by the spot wherever I was staying. Wherever I'm at, she gonna come see where I'm staying, you know, so she know how to get to me, but...
That's good.
Other than all that, you know what I mean? It's all cool. I never felt like for 1 second I lost my friend, because we understand, you know, we've always understood each other in a relationship, because once you're in that relationship, it's you and that person before you and anybody else, you know what I mean?
That's right.
And you gotta respect that. You feel me? I would say it may hurt. It may hurt, like I said, we good, you know, it did, and I ain't really never felt no way about it, but like, it can hurt some folks, you know what I mean? If you know, it can hurt some people, and I can understand why, but it's like you would feel like you losing your friend once you so used to doing so much all the time together, and then to just slowly dwindle and then almost come to a halt completely.
Right.
But I never felt like I lost my friend, because we always had that bond no matter, you know what I mean? I'm in a relationship as my fiance, you know, but you still you know what I mean? We still don't, you know what I mean? We still friends. We are what we are.
Yeah.
And that ain't gonna change, and you can't, as long as they open about each other and they, you know, or relationship wise with the people who they're with, we've been friends since this, that, and the third, and like tell them what's going on. I don't see how, you know, the next person could be. I can understand how they can be a little way about it, but once you really see it, get the nitty gritty and see the reaction, and once the guy come around, if he ain't coming at you sideways, or you don't feel no kind of animosity, you know what I mean, when he meets you, hey man, I'm embrace you. You with her, man, what's up, man? How you doing? You know what I mean? That's just me. I ain't no funny guy, you know what I mean, or nothing like that, to where I'd be like, man, I don't know about this dude, and I don't even know him, you know what I mean? So I'm going to give you me when I first meet you, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is my friend, what's up, man, how you doing? Nice to meet you, finally, I heard, whatever, you know, but I'm still going to be me. And if we sitting around and we can't communicate how we communicate, and you see how we can interact, and, you know what I mean? If it's like, we only interacting when you gone, you know what I mean? You come back and we silent, and then hey, I'm watching. Hey, you know what I mean? But no, man, it's be all the way you all the time. You know what I mean? Ain't no funny stuff here, Jack. Just us. You know what I mean? So that's just been the whole thing from the jump, and it's possible. It's possible.
I love that. You did the whole thing, and just at the end,
it's possible. It's possible. That's true. Shannon, you know, we appreciate your phone call. I think you brought another perspective to it.
Absolutely.
And that really shows that once you come real, just come real, show what you're really about. Only people who are trying to do some subversive stuff can't come like that. And so when they can't come like that, that's when they start acting all sheepish, things get quiet and stuff like that. But when your intentions are right, and they are pure, then you can look at the other person who is now the love interest of your friend and say, look, ain't nothing going on. I embrace all of y'all because we all friends, and that's real friendship. Once your intentions are pure, but it got some people who ain't like that, so they can't handle it.
And you know, I'm sorry, somewhere down the line, during your friendship with this young lady, seventh grade all the way up, or 7 years old, seventh grade all the way up, you would know, you would have known during that time, because you had such a long history, what this was going to be from what it was not going to be. You know, and so it's like you guys set up that boundary, or probably never even have to say anything because you know each other. You know each other to that degree. I do commend you on one thing. That what you have taught me, because that's what it's about learning. You know, what you have taught me is that you can cut back without being out. You can cut back without being out. Because what you basically said is because when you get together again, it's like you didn't miss a beat because you played catch up. And man, I thank you for that because that really makes a difference in the respect, the boundaries. Now, the only messed up thing right now is that for you right now is that you have a fiance and the whole room is buzzing. What's up with this dude? You know.
Thank you, Shannon, so much for calling. That's the ATL. Let me tell you, I miss my ATL boy. Just listening to him talk, I was like, oh yes. Okay, so Shannon, thank you for bringing the reel on that. We have another call. I don't know if that caller, if we spoke to that caller already. 407 area code. Did we speak to them?
We did. Let's just check.
1444 last 4 digits. Did we speak to you already?
I think so.
Oh, okay, yes, we did.
It's Bianca.
Yes.
It's Bianca.
Okay, so you're still holding on then. Okay, fine. That's fine. Okay,
no, I don't have anything to say. I don't know how I came through.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just hang on. Just continue listening. But I think what Shannon said is really important that, when your intentions are pure, you can approach anything and not change.
Sure.
It's really up to the other person whether or not they accept that or not.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
And then he talked about pulling back. You talked about adjustments and concerns relating to having to make adjustments.
Right.
But it's not all or nothing. You could do the in between and then find a soft spot or a safe spot where everybody is cool with.
Sure.
We have not touched on marriage at all.
Well, we got 20 more minutes left.
And marriage may not take that long.
And marriage ain't going to take that long. It's just you just got to put it in the chat room.
Yes.
I think it's my wife in the chat room. I thought it's in the chat room.
She right there.
So the question is, come on, let's flip it now.
The question is it possible for people of opposite sex to be best friends while any one of them are married or both of them are married? Is it possible? Now, best friend, again, let's define best friend. Best friend is someone, is a person that you confide in, that you tell everything to. Everything to.
Right.
So that then means potentially that you could be telling this person everything and not your spouse.
Yo, why do you have to do that?
I'm just saying.
Question first.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, because we got 20 minutes and this is the marriage portion of it.
Right, yes.
Right?
You're right.
So is that possible that you have someone that you talk that is of the opposite sex?
Okay, Bianca just said that I think it's dangerous.
I think it's dangerous too.
We're asking at this time all those that are in the chat room, because we know that this program is going to be rebroadcast.
Yes.
So all those who are in the chat room, please let us know what you're thinking because we want to put it out there what you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
So if you're going to rephrase that question just one more time.
So is it possible to be married or to be married and have a best friend who is of the opposite sex?
Okay.
And so the understanding with that would then be that if this person is your best friend, they are your best friend, which means they know everything. You are telling them everything, maybe even telling them things.
Adding stuff on there.
No, but that's I had to define best friend. So potentially telling this best friend person who is of the opposite sex more than you are telling your spouse. Is that appropriate? Is there someone in the chat room or someone who wants to call in that would say that that's okay with them?
Listen. Let's talk about us for a second, right? One day, and I did show you this one time. Somebody texted me and say that we vibe so much, right? Because we vibe so much.
We're both sanguine.
Thank you. It doesn't mean that there's something happening. It just simply says
we're both sanguine.
That you're crazy. And I have to deal with your crazy.
You're crazier.
In that sense. You see, I mean, really, the fact is that I'm not going to tell you all my secrets.
Right.
I'm not going to share certain things with you.
Right.
I don't care how I'm not saying I want to explain, hey, Landy, guess what happened today?
Right,
or something of that nature. That's not.
Right.
I'm not talking about something like that. I'm talking about if I'm calling you every day to tell you, watch this, what my wife is doing wrong.
Right.
This is going wrong. My kids are so and so. And I'm getting advice from them. I'm not getting that from my wife.
Right.
Something wrong with that picture. So,
right.
You understand where I'm coming from.
I'm sorry.
Did Wendy just
No, Wendy just said in the chat room, and I agree with her. This is why. So for me, I define a best friend as someone I tell everything.
The same.
She says that she doesn't tell her best friend everything. Absolutely, I don't tell nobody everything. That's why I say I don't have a best friend, because if you're my best friend, I'm telling you everything. And I don't have a best friend because I don't tell nobody everything.
So hold on a second.
So
Wendy, you tell me everything.
Leave her alone. but that's huge. You know what I mean?
Sure, it is.
So for some people, they could have a best friend and they not tell them everything.
Okay, look what what's the name says. Miss Imani Williams says that it depends on your mindset. Okay, Williams said, it depends on your mindset. I do have a question. Miss Williams, I want to ask, are you married or are you single? Are you married or are you single? Please put S, single, M, married. Okay, because I want to know of how you're thinking. How you're thinking. And it's okay. Yeah. I do not want to ever believe that someone is wrong. It's just you don't have that perspective as of yet.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So just wanted to know, Miss Williams, if you are single or if you're married. Not only that, someone also said it opens up the wrong doors.
Yes.
It can open up the wrong doors.
Yes, because naturally, I think when you begin to confide in somebody or you're hurting about something, you put that person in a position to hear your issues. You put that person in a position to potentially fix it, especially from a female's point of view who I have a problem, and a man's point of view who they fix stuff. That's
Could
what.
you say that again? Because that's another show. Say that again.
Say it again.
A
female's point of view, we do the damsel in distress thing. Some of us do, where I need things fixed and whatever, and it's a man's. It's his thing to fix stuff, to fix it. Right. When I tell my husband I have an issue, whatever, his mind immediately kicks into fixing it for me immediately, because that's what he does. So. Yeah, that's my dude. So so if I have someone of the opposite sex and I'm married and I have someone of the opposite sex and I'm literally venting and and they're trying to and they try to come on in and fix something, Mr. James gonna be like, oh, pump your brakes, boo.
If I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna make it clear. I'm tell you right now, if you come to me with some private crap, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna call Al.
Let me tell you something.
Al, your wife is coming to me.
so let me say, and I could trust and believe. Like I said, I don't have a best friend because I ain't talking to nobody like that. His name is Jesus. His name is. That's who I talk to. But all my stuff, because that's loyalty 100%.
That's what on his part.
On his part, loyalty 100%. I can say it.
I believe. I think we're gonna be on the same page with this. I do believe that if you are married, that there is no reason for you to have a best friend.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, of the opposite sex.
Of the opposite sex.
I even believe that even.
But you know what? Go ahead, say it, because you about to say what I'm about to say. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Oh, I also believe that it is possible that you don't necessarily need to have a best friend, even of the same sex being married.
I'm with you.
Because that would suggest now that you are telling a person outside of your spouse more than you're telling your spouse.
Singing with you, Abby singing with you. There is something about
that name. So that suggests that you're telling someone more than what you're telling your spouse.
I got you.
And if there's anybody, like I said at the beginning of the show, if there's anybody, I don't do best friends, but if there's anyone closest to me that's a best friend, it's my husband, because he knows 98.9999999% of what's up in here.
Hey, we're going to take about a minute, just less than a minute, about 30 seconds to just take a break. We're going to come back as we close, just give you some update of what we're going to be doing on the next coming show. And not only that, we're going to ask you to stay there. We want to just some announcements or some. I think I'm at church. I said announcements.
Announcements, he said.
Some stuff coming up.
You sure didn't say announcements. You just went to Pastor Grill real fast.
So let's give us a minute.
BBC Unplugged started with a Facebook post that I had on my page where I asked a question on forgiveness. And I think that post got over like 100 responses. And as I was reading through, I realized that there are a lot of people dealing with forgiveness issues, including myself. And so I had a conversation with Pastor Graham about that post, and out of that conversation is where BBC Unplugged came from, because we realized that people need a forum where they could talk about some of the everyday Christian struggles that we really don't have the opportunity to talk about. So BBC Unplugged was birthed out of that question. And Pastor Graham and myself, we decided, why not, let's just make it a call-in show so people could call with their questions and we have real conversation about it with a biblical basis. So that's how we started Unplugged, BBC Unplugged. Well, we chose BBC Unplugged.
Well, just thank you for joining us. We've been spending some time together speaking about
relationships between the opposite sex, best friends relationships. If it's possible, we said it's possible. I'm sorry, I was about to wrap this up, but you go ahead on and take it.
I do want you to wrap this up because we learned tonight.
Yeah,
I think we learned tonight, and looking at the different what people have been saying in the chat rooms about friendship, about marriage, about I love this one. Just listening, I love listening to what everyone was saying about what might be taboos, what may not be taboos.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so important for every individual to govern themselves accordingly.
Right.
In your relationship, govern yourselves accordingly. Can it happen? Well, we learned tonight. Big man from Atlanta. Well, Shannon. Shannon. We learned tonight. Yes. Nicole Phillips have been saying it. There's no problem with it. Davina has been saying it. There's no problem with it. Kwani, we don't know where she's at. Miss Williams, I love listening to some of the things that you've been talking about. We've been sharing. Natasha, we've been sharing. Cedric, we've been sharing. Wendy, we've been sharing. But more than that, I think it's important that we do set boundaries.
Yes.
In setting boundaries, it really helps us along the way. We don't want to close up. We're going to ask Landy if you close up for us. But one of the things that I wanted to bring about is December, coming up in December.
Yeah.
We are having a Bible boot camp, 5 o'clock in the morning. We're asking every individual just join us at 5 to 5:30 a.m. We're going to be speaking of your purpose, being born to deliver. We're going to speak about your purpose, being born to deliver. We also want to invite everyone to go to waterforthethirsty.com. Waterforthethirsty.com, where you can follow a reading plan, an awesome reading plan that can help us to stay on par with Jesus Christ. And then I want to also invite everyone, yes, my new, what is it called again? My new thingamajig. I want to invite those who are single and not just looking to match up with anyone, but to look up, but to match, not to match up, but to do ministry together, right? Just do ministry together. So you're matching your ministry just one click away. We're asking you to just visit our website at adventmingle.com, because we're also going to be doing shows on singles. And so we're going to invite you to be a part of that also. And so we also want to tell you of our next show, Landy.
Yeah, our next show is going to be the first Monday in December. We're going to talk about relationships. True friendships. What do true friendships look like? I think we kind of touched on it tonight, talking about boundaries and stuff like that, manipulation and stuff like that. We've touched on toxic relationships.
We did, yes.
And so we're going to kind of bring back. We've received a topic suggestion from one of our viewers, and they kind of want to talk about true friendship and what do you do in the church body when someone
hurts you.
When someone hurts you, how do you handle that in the body of Christ?
Right.
How do you handle that? So that's going to be our next show, first Monday of December.
Yeah. First Monday of December. I'm going to ask you that to like our page.
Yeah, BBC Unplugged on Facebook. Like us, our YouTube channel. You can find all of our previous shows on our YouTube channel, BBC Unplugged as well.
That's right.
And then tonight's show will be up this evening. So you can check the rebroadcast out as well. But all previous shows are there. Before
we leave, we just want to thank Praise Vision for powering us up tonight. And we just want to thank you for just joining us, because we really believe that the topics that we talk about can edify each and every one of you. Before we leave, we just want to have a word of prayer before we go. And we just want to thank again LaLa from LaLa Speaks. Also go to her page. What's your page again, LaLa?
Yeah, my page on Facebook, like me, LaLa Speaks, LaLaSpeakx. Like me on Facebook. We talk about all kinds of stuff.
There we go. Father, we ask that you continue to be with us, to bless us. And today we do believe that the best friend to have is you. So I'm asking that whatever we did tonight, that it was pleasing to you. And we're asking you that one day, when we see you face to face, that we can rejoice in our friendship with you forever. So bless us again, I ask, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Again, thank you for joining us on BBC Unplugged. Sorry, that's December.
That's December.
BBC Unplugged. God bless you. Have a good night.
Later.